what we're going to look at now is if we've been given the graph of a quadratic, how can we find the equation? So I'm going to look at two examples. In the first example, A, we've been given the vertex of the quadratic and we've been given the y-intercept. As soon as we see that we've been given the vertex, we should be thinking of completed square form. And completed square form, y is k lots of x minus p all squared plus q, means that the vertex has coordinates p, q. So immediately I can write down that this graph will have equation y equals k lots of p would be 1 because the x coordinate of the vertex is 1, so it will be x minus 1 squared, and q, which is the y coordinate of the vertex, will be minus 5. So I have an equation for my quadratic, but it still has k in as an unknown. In order to find k, we're going to use the y-intercept. So we can say x equals 0, y equals minus 3, that y-intercept coordinate, that tells us, just by substituting those values into here, that minus 3 is equal to k lots of 0 minus 1 squared minus 5. So minus 3 equals k lots of minus 1 squared, which is 1, minus 5. So k, adding 5 to both sides, is therefore 2. So to conclude, the equation is y equals 2 times x minus 1 squared minus 5. Okay, so that's the first example, where the vertex and the y coordinate were y-intercept were given. The second example, we've not been given the vertex now, but we've been given the two x-intercepts and the y-intercept again. So instead of thinking of completed square form, we should now think of factorized form. So let's write down, looking at the two x-intercepts, that we think our answer will be some constant times x minus 1 times x minus 3. So the factorized form comes from the fact that when x is 1, this bracket would be 0, which makes the whole expression 0, which gives our y value as 0. Similarly, if x was 3, this bracket would be 0, so the whole expression would be 0, which gives us y equals 0, which makes sense with the two intercepts there. So again, we have an equation with a constant unknown in it, but we can use the y-intercept to find that value. So we can say x equals 0, y equals 9, implies in this case that 9 is equal to c times 0 minus 1 times 0 minus 3. So therefore 9 is equal to c times minus 1 in the first bracket and times minus 3 in the second bracket. So that's times 3 altogether. And therefore, dividing both sides by 3, we find that c is just 3. So let's summarise it all by saying that the equation of our quadratic here is going to be y equals 3 times x minus 1 times x minus 3. And we'll stop there.